I left my quiet husband for not trying. Then I opened his locked garage and froze. I divorced my husband after 6 years together, and I told everyone it was because he stopped trying. For the last 3 years, it felt like living with a stranger. He'd work a 12-hour warehouse shift, come home quiet, eat fast, then disappear into the garage until midnight. Every night I asked, what's wrong? I asked if he was mad, if he didn't love me, if there was someone else. He'd look at me with tired eyes and say, I'm fine, I'm working on a project. If I asked what project, he'd shut down or change the subject. I planned date nights. I booked couples therapy. I begged him to talk in the car, at dinner, in bed with the lights off. Nothing changed. I ate alone, slept alone, woke up alone. One night I said, I can't do this anymore. I want a divorce. He didn't argue. He signed the papers that same week and handed them back like it was nothing. That hurt more than yelling ever could. I moved into a tiny studio across town and tried to rebuild. My friends pushed me to start dating, and they set me up with Marco, a sales manager who loved going out. With Marco, there were real plans, real conversations, and non-stop little texts like, good morning, and did you eat? He remembered my coffee order. He showed up. I kept telling myself, this is what I wanted, but I still felt hollow. I'd be sitting across from Marco at dinner and catch myself wondering what my ex was doing. Like my brain couldn't accept how easily my marriage ended. 6 months after the divorce was final, I realized I'd left a box of my grandmother's photos at the house. My ex said I could pick them up anytime. So last Saturday morning I drove over. I still had my key. The house looked the same, quiet and too clean. I grabbed the box from the hall closet, and as I headed out, I noticed the garage door was cracked open. My stomach dropped. During those last years, the garage was always locked. I told myself to leave it alone, but my hand was already pushing the door up. The smell of sawdust hit me, and my eyes landed on rows of hand-carved wooden furniture. A crib, a rocking chair with my initials carved into the back, a changing table, a toy chest. Some pieces were finished and polished. Others were half done, with tools still sitting beside them like he'd stepped out for a minute. There were wood shavings on the floor and little piles of sandpaper on a shelf. A tape measure was stretched across a board like someone had dropped it in a hurry. I touched the crib rail, and it was smooth, like he'd sanded it 100 times. My hands started shaking. On his workbench, tiny wooden animals were lined up in a neat row. A mobile hung from the ceiling with carved stars and moons. It was careful, personal work, the kind you can't do without thinking about someone every single day. Then I saw a dusty notebook on the main bench. I opened it and saw sketches, measurements, and notes in his handwriting. At the top was a date circled in red from 3 years ago, the exact day I miscarried. Under it, he'd written, she needs time. Don't pressure her. Don't bring it up unless she wants to. Build the future for when she's ready. Show her I still believe we'll get there. I turned the pages, and every piece had a start date and little notes like, she likes simple lines, and round the edges. Page after page was a full nursery plan I never knew existed. One entry said, she asked about therapy today. I still can't tell her about this. What if she thinks I'm pushing her? Just keep building. Keep showing up. Near the back was an entry from the week I asked for the divorce. Maybe I got it wrong. Maybe silence wasn't what she needed, but I can't stop now. 47 pieces planned. Only finished 23. I sank to the garage floor and cried until my face hurt. All those nights I thought he didn't care. He'd been out here trying to give me space, building something for a future he still hoped for. I picked up a tiny wooden elephant and remembered mentioning just once that a safari theme would be cute. I could almost see the nursery in my head. My fingers were shaking so badly I could barely type, but I texted him anyway. I'm at the house. I opened the garage. 2 minutes later, he replied, keep whatever you want. I don't need them anymore. Another text came right after. I'm sorry I wasn't what you needed. I sat there on the cold concrete, surrounded by furniture for a baby we lost. My phone lit up again with Marco asking what time we were doing dinner tonight.